You're listening to the Real Elevation Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Hendricks, and here we discuss topics on personal fitness, well-being, and elevation of mind and body. Join us as we help build and grow a community of real, elevated men and women. If you're currently feeling frustrated, flat, and fed up with life, or want to be a physically and mentally elevated individual, you're invited to join us each and every week here on the Real Elevation Podcast. Welcome to the RE family and get ready to elevate your mind and body. Welcome to the Real Elevation Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Hendricks, and today we have another outstanding, informative, and elevated show for you. I'd like to welcome all first-time listeners to the podcast, and please be sure to stay to the end of the show where I will be sharing all my social media links, where you can connect with me and the Real Elevation community as we continue to grow and spread the word about how you can find freedom through fitness. Hello and welcome. Thank you and God bless you. I appreciate you spending your time with me, tuning in to another fantastic episode that we have in store for you today. Now, if you're over the age of 45, 50s, as you know, this is my typical audience who tune in and listen here on the Real Elevation Podcast. You already know the challenges that can come along with aging. We know that we can face muscle loss and joint stiffness, can decline in terms of our energy and our productivity, and we can even have that increased risk of certain types of illness if we are not proactive. So the truth is that the habits that kept you fit when you were younger, in your 20s and 30s, they're not really going to cut it the same way now, and ignoring these can only change and accelerate these issues if you're not careful. However, the good news is with the right strategy, you can create a body that not only looks better but performs better as you age. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 powerful steps that will help you future-proof your fitness, ensuring that you stay strong, you stay energized, and you keep pain at bay. So, fortify your fitness success. 3 steps to future-proof your well-being and your fitness. That's fortify your fitness success. 3 steps to future-proof your well-being and your fitness. Now let's look at some of the science behind this before we dive in. Why is future-proofing important, and why should you future-proof? Now you need to think about your body like a retirement account. Yeah, the earlier you invest, the more you compound that interest over the years, and the more you'll earn. But here's the catch. After 45, we know that muscle mass typically declines around about 3 to 8% each decade. Joints can stiffen up. Our metabolism can significantly slow down. But the science proves, and you've heard me share with you about different studies and papers and articles before, the science proves that it's never ever too late to start. That's why I'm always encouraging people to start on their journey of building their personal well-being and their fitness. Regardless of what age you start, you can rebuild and you can fortify your fitness. Recent research shows that after the age of 40, we lose around about 1% of muscle mass a year. So that 3 to 8% per decade, but it can be up to 1% per year. That's if we don't actively work to maintain it. Yeah. Studies published in the Journal of Applied Physiology highlight that resistance training, so lifting weights, working with and against gravity, can slow down or even reverse this decline and stimulate muscle growth with the right diet and helped with good protein synthesis. So it's never too late. There's another study that was done in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who combined strength training with proper nutrition improved not only their muscle retention but also their cognitive function and their heart health as well. So again, as I keep saying, age is just a number. You can start on your fitness and well-being journey even if you've not started yet and you're over the age of 45, 50s, even older. So the message is clear. A proactive strategy isn't optional, it's essential. So you have to do what you can to future-proof your fitness. So let's start with these 3 steps now. I'm starting with number 1, and it's probably obvious, but it's to build muscle purposefully with resistance training. So this is why it's important, and we just touched on this before. If you remember those studies that we shared with you, muscle is your body's youth insurance. Look at it like that. It's beyond just building muscular strength. It's the tissue that helps you to boost metabolism, helps you manage your insulin levels, stabilizes your joints, and protects against injury. So you don't have to go crazy. And the goal here is never to get yourself in a position where you feel you have to be some kind of bodybuilder. I know that puts a lot of people off because I think they have to get really jacked, for want of a better term, or really hench. That is not the case. You're just building muscle to help with those key areas, yeah? Moderate your insulin levels, help your metabolism, stabilize joints, and protect against injury. So you can do that with these action steps. Focus on compound exercises, things you've heard me share with you before. I'll leave a link in the description so you can go check out some videos that I've done on these particular exercises. We're talking about compound exercises such as squats, push-ups, rows, exercises that use multiple joints at the same time. Building up to doing those competently is going to help you. Looking to do any kind of resistance training 2 to 3 times a week is the second step, yeah? And thinking about making sure it's periodized and progressive. So you're looking to build up and increase the intensity through the weights over time. And obviously the way you do it, your execution is key in the third step. Prioritize slow and controlled movements. Don't think about doing anything fast and rapid. That's not our goal here. That's just going to just increase your risk of injury. So focusing on those compound movements, looking to do it 2 to 3 times a week, resistance training, and focus on your good technique. There are 3 action steps that you can take to make sure that you're building muscle and making sure that you're including resistance training to help you on your quest to future-proof your fitness. Okay, number 2, prioritize mobility and flexibility. So why is this important? So we know as we get older, muscles can get tighter, they can stiffen up, and they can reduce or restrict our movement, and that will only increase our risk of injury. So it's important that we understand about mobility and flexibility. Improving our mobility is key to staying agile and also pain-free. So if you're not doing any kind of flexibility, mobility exercises, it's something that you may need a bit of guidance with, but it's something that you definitely need to do as you continue or start to future-proof your fitness. Here are some action steps that you can do. Number 1, dedicate 10 minutes daily to doing some dynamic stretching. Focus on key areas like the hips, the shoulders, and the spine. These are all areas that people struggle with pains over time. I've seen it many times. People coming with back pain, which is a very popular issue. That's due to poor mobility, poor core strength, bad posture, bad habits, maybe sat at the desk for a long period of time through their working week, and that encourages poor posture. Shoulders is another area that's people struggle with poor posture, and also in the spine and the hips. So dynamic stretching can help improve our mobility. So if that's something that you're not doing at the moment, I would actively encourage you to do. Incorporate yoga-inspired flows or Tai Chi type movements. Now, you've heard me talk about the benefits of Tai Chi, Qigong type of exercise before. They're all what I call restorative or regenerative exercises that help re-energize the body. So when we're doing a day where we're not working as intensely, we may be able to do some active rest. These type of exercises can be incorporated. That's going to help us improving our mobility and flexibility. And include the third step, joint care exercises like articular rotation type movements, or CARs, controlled articular rotation movements, to maintain healthy joints. Now that's a special technique that basically looks at encouraging the joints to move through their natural range of movement, and improving the flexibility. Again, I'll leave a link in the description so you can go check out some videos so you can better understand how they are done, so you can look to incorporate those. So again, there are 3 action steps that you can do when you're looking to prioritize mobility and flexibility. Dedicate 10 minutes to daily. So when you get up, do some simple mobility, flexibility exercises. Incorporate yoga type exercises, things like Hatha yoga, Iyengar yoga, or if not, Tai Chi, Qigong. There are other great ways of keeping your body flexible mobility and having that restorative exercise interwoven into your weekly workout, and include those controlled articular rotations, helping to keep the body mobile. So what we're talking about today, we're talking about fortifying our fitness success. 3 steps to future-proof your well-being and fitness. Yep, we know as we get older, we need to start making investments, and making those investments of weekly and daily habits. That's going to help to fortify our fitness. So as we get older, we're not struggling with the typical things that you may see your peers struggling with. You know, I look at people I often come into contact with in their late 40s, early 50s, going into their late 50s, early 60s. And all of them, well, not all of them, a large majority of them at least, are struggling with some kind of pain. And that's not uncommon. And you may know people, or even yourself, may be struggling with that. But if you take these steps to fortify your fitness success, you can future-proof your well-being and your fitness, and maybe not struggle with these issues that many people do to the same degree. So we spoke about building muscle as step number 1, making sure that we're doing purposeful resistance training. We said number 2, we need to prioritize mobility and flexibility exercises, and we spoke about some action steps for that. And then finally, number 3, master your recovery strategy. Now again, you know where I spoke about keeping it real and a Real Rejuvenation Program. We talk about the importance of rest and recovery, and this is what we're talking about here. Making sure that you recover well. Recovery is where you really see the benefits of all the work that you're doing, and you really see the magic happen. If you're not giving your body sufficient time to re-energize, replenish, revitalize, you're going to struggle with fatigue, you're going to struggle with potentially increasing your risk of injury, and you're not going to see the same rate of progress that you may want to see. So you need to make sure that you're being on purpose when it comes to rest and recovery, doing the things that you need to do to allow the body space and time to re-energize, revitalize, refocus, so you can go at the same level and see those improvements that you want. So action steps that you can do to make sure that you're mastering your recovery strategy. Quality sleep. Make sure that you are getting good 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. We spoke about this before. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly which episode we spoke about rest and recovery, but I will leave a link in the show notes so you can go check out that episode if you've not listened to that. Again, very insightful one, talking about the importance and how you can take some action steps, including these ones, to make sure that you're mastering your sleep. Number 2, action point that you can do is implement active recovery days. Now, we touched on this, but we were speaking about doing these Tai Chi and Qigong, Pilates, yoga type exercises. Other things that you can do is just low intensity exercises like going out for long walks, cycling, just focusing on doing some mobility and stretching exercises. These are all exercises that can help improve mobility by increasing that blood flow, but you're not doing anything intense here. It's just to keep the body moving and getting the benefit of regenerative type exercises. And you can use tools that can help you recover, incorporate things such as using foam rollers. Massage guns are very popular these days. When used correctly, they can be a great way to aid your muscles in terms of recovery and taking out potential aches and pains. Going for a nice Swedish or Thai massage or a sports massage. These are all things that you can do to really get on top of and master your recovery. So you're giving your body a chance to almost reboot, reset, revitalize, re-energize. So you're reducing the risk of injury, fatigue, and you're upping your productivity and performance, whether it's in your personal life or professionally at work as well. So don't underestimate the power of making sure you're getting adequate rest and recovery. This can also help you with things such as managing stress as well, because for many of us, we live in a very stressful world. Lots of things going on, lots of things changing that we feel that we may not be able to control. But when we're fresh, when we're rested, when we're recovered, it allows us to deal with these situations much, much better. So, in conclusion, we need to take action to ensure that we future-proof our fitness. There are 3 key steps there to fortify your fitness and ensure your long-term, and this is what we're talking about, long-term changes and long-term success in terms of our well-being. So we're talking about, number 1, build muscle with purposeful resistance training. Number 2, prioritize mobility and flexibility. And number 3, master your recovery strategy, making sure you're getting sufficient and adequate R&R. So now it's time for you to take action. Knowing what to do is one thing, but doing it consistently is what creates results. So that's what I'm encouraging you to do. Now I'd love to help you apply these 3 steps, and that's why I'm going to offer this invitation to work with myself on this Real Rejuvenation Program. It's designed specifically for busy men and women over the age of 45 who want to regain the energy, strength and confidence without spending hours in the gym. So if you feel that's something that you'd like to do, if you feel ready that you like to take the guesswork, you like to save time, money and effort out of your fitness journey, you like to fast track to see your results, I'm going to leave a link for you to fill out a form. We'll have a conversation. We'll talk about exactly where you, and we can look to build a plan that's right for your lifestyle, where you are on your journey, and help you to upskill, upgrade towards your fitness and well-being goals and fast track towards that long-term lasting success. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you found today's information insightful, inspiring and uplifting. I'm sure you did. If you'd like to connect with me and the Real Elevation community, you can catch me on all the usual platforms. On LinkedIn, you can catch me under Mike Hendricks. On Facebook, you can catch me under Mike Bobby Hendricks. On Instagram, you can catch me on Hendricks Holistic 44. And why not subscribe to our YouTube channel? Lots of good stuff over there. Go check it out. I'll leave all these links in the show notes, make it easy for you to connect. So that's it for today. I trust you found it insightful and uplifting. Remember to share this with your community. Remember to give us a 5-star review. Continue to share, because each week we get more and more downloads, and that's down to you sharing that. So please continue to do that. I truly appreciate that. Okay, remember, until next time, be well, be wise, be cool, be calm, and keep it real. Blessings and chi. Peace.